I'm the Executive Director of American Service Commissions. We're the association for the 53 state service commissions across the country. I'm honored to be here to MC this morning or this afternoon, and we have a great program for you. I want to welcome you to the 2013 North Central National Service Conference hosted by American Service Commissions and Volunteer Iowa here in the state of Illinois. This gathering of 240 representatives of AmeriCorps, Senior Corps, Volunteer Centers, and State Service Commissions is a time for us to strengthen our partnership, celebrate our successes, share cutting-edge strategies, and discuss innovative solutions that maximize our ability to impact the communities we serve. We're sure you will spend quality time with some familiar faces and get to know a few new ones. We hope the conference sparks some new ideas and collaborations and strengthens and reinforces existing ones. We are delighted to welcome Congresswoman Tammy Duckworth, Director of AmeriCorps Bill Basl, and Special Advisor to the President at Marquette University, Jeff Snell, as the conference keynote speakers, as well as friends from the Armed Forces, Emergency Management, the Corporation for National Community Service, and AmeriCorps ICCC. These leaders will provide insights on some of the most critical issues facing the volunteer and national service sector. We'd like to extend a big thank you to the Corporation for National Community Service for making this conference happen this week. We also like to thank Truist for sponsoring this conference as well. We really appreciate your generosity. We'd also like to extend our thank you to the Conference Planning Committee and all those who are volunteering as presenters, room hosts, registration hosts, equipment crew, and so on. There are a few housekeeping items I would like to bring to your attention. In your check-in materials, you should have received an agenda and a map of the resort. Please keep these handy throughout the conference. All of our meals and keynote presentations will take place here in the New Orleans Ballroom. Our breakout sessions occur in the Broadway Ballrooms, Gem Meeting Rooms, Preservation Hall A, and the Marcellus Ballroom. We hope you will enjoy some of the many amenities the resort has to offer. You are welcome to attend any of the sessions that you think would be according to your learning needs. The breakout tracks noted on the agenda are suggestions based on the audience and on the presentation content we focus on. Wireless internet is available throughout the conference center. We invite you to download the available workshop materials from our conference website. And that conference website is www.regonline.com, regonline.com/NC-service. This link is also written on the first page of your agenda. Bear in mind that the network could become slower at times due to the high volume of people here. If possible, please try to limit your use of the conference to conference business. If you use Twitter, we encourage you to tweet using the hashtag NCService to interact with your fellow conference goers. We hope you will also interact with your fellow conference goers in person. Please take advantage of every formal and informal opportunity to network with your peers. Your conference coordinators include Rachel Bruns from ASK and Sarah Hinsman from Volunteer Iowa. Rachel and Sarah have worked very hard over the last few months to ensure that you have a high-quality learning experience. I know they very much appreciate your patience, kindness, and understanding as they attempt to meet everyone's needs during the next few days. At this time, we'd like to play a welcome video from Wendy Spencer, the CEO of the Corporation for National Community Service, for regrets that she cannot join us today in person.
Hello everyone, thanks for attending the Regional Training for National Service. This is a super opportunity for great peer-to-peer exchange. And I know that you're going to learn a lot from each other. We've got great wind at our backs with the President announcing a National Service Task Force so that we can showcase ways for the federal government to work with local governments, to work with state governments, the private sector, public entity, nonprofit, everyone coming together to join in. How can national service make an impact? Making sure we have strong performance measures. We're accountable, recruiting great members and participants to serve with us, recruiting additional volunteers to serve alongside us. This is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to learn together. You have CNCS staff present at the training too. Please make sure you reach out to each one of them and talk to them about what you need to have even greater impact with your program. So thanks so much for attending the training. Have a great training, and good luck as we get ready for a big new year.
Now I'd like to introduce our first plenary speaker. William Bill Basl was appointed as the Director of AmeriCorps in June 2012 at the Corporation for National Community Service. Prior to this appointment, during the past 4 years, Bill worked in a variety of capacities in the state of Washington. He served as the initial Executive Director of the Washington Commission for National Community Service, established by Governor Mike Lowry in 1994 to implement and expand volunteerism and national service initiatives, including AmeriCorps. In 1983, prior to being named to this position, Bill founded the Washington Service Corps, which was the first statewide youth service initiative in the nation. It was designed to address priority local education and human services needs. Bill was reappointed to this position by former Governor and current Ambassador to China, Gary Locke, and in 2005 by Governor Chris Gregoire. He served as a member of the Governor's Small Agency Cabinet. He has assisted agencies and organizations nationally and internationally to expand and strengthen national service. Bill supported the State Department in promoting national service requested by Italian government and civic service leaders to assist in developing new service initiatives. He is the co-founder of Service America, a national program that placed cadets from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point with AmeriCorps members to address critical community needs. He's developed the Leadership Forum for National Service Executives at the University of Washington's Evans School of Public Affairs, which offers graduate-level coursework designed to meet the needs of senior leaders in national service throughout the country. He has served as board member and immediate past chair of America's Service Commissions. From 1970 to 1972, Bill served as a VISTA volunteer in Walla Walla, Washington, helping migrant farm workers establish their own businesses. In Spokane, where he was a VISTA volunteer leader, he helped form a regional legal services network. A native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Bill received a Bachelor of Service degree in Business Administration from the University of Rhode Island. In 2011, the White House named Bill Champion of Change, Service Innovator. I'd like to introduce the Dean of National Service and my friend, Bill Basl.
Well, thank you, Tom, and thanks for that overly generous introduction. I came in last night about 1 in the morning, and I don't know if any of you have had the experience of driving on a tollway when you don't have the correct change. Seems like you all had that experience. So here you are at just about 1 o'clock. I'm getting off at the exit, and it says exact change, toll 90 cents. And immediately I thought, well, that's cute. I'm on Interstate 90, and it's 90 cents. Why wouldn't it be like $1? And so then I thought, where's the change? You know, it's a rental car. So in your own car, you can crawl under the floor mats, and you can get the change. We've all done that. And I thought, oh, this car has just been cleaned. And I had put some change in the cup holder. But you know, the cup holder was small, and if you don't know the cup holder in your car, you don't know where to put it. And so I thought, oh, I'll just have to pull over to the side of the road. So I pull over to the side of the road, and I still can't find it. So I open the door, and a car went by me, and they're seeing me laying over the front seat, looking for my change. Anyway, I found it, but I had just the right amount. I thought, what do I do if I don't have the right change? I thought, well, I'll just put a $1 bill in and call it good and see what happens. But it was a fascinating experience. You just don't know. I didn't know if I was going to make it here this morning, or I'd be in Pokey somewhere for failure to pay 90 cents. But it all works out. This is a really exciting time, and I just wanted to echo some of what Wendy said, because you are all innovators. You all make national service come to life. And I want to thank the folks, especially Branen from the Illinois Commission, and Rachel from the Iowa Commission, Sarah and others, Lisa, John, all of you who have made this event come together. This is something we had envisioned for the last few months when we looked at new ways of bringing folks together in regional settings to share ideas, to share best practices, and to find out what works. And indeed, you're modeling this, and I hope that we can take this model and do it again, and take it again and again to the next level. This is a critical time for national service. You will see, and Wendy alluded to it, and I'm going to talk about it for a second, some of the important changes that we hope to make and some of the new partnerships we want to forge. But we can't do that without you, and we can't do it without the lessons you have learned. So I want to recognize those who have served and those who make contributions. So first of all, just by a show of hands, all of you, and we're going to recognize some of you a little bit later, all of you who have served our country as members of the military, all of the veterans, can you all raise your hand here so we can recognize you? And what about all those who have served in AmeriCorps? AmeriCorps alums, we have some alums. Wow, oh my goodness. Thank you. I come from a different era, but we used to call it Vista, and I see a couple of Vistas here. But all those who served in AmeriCorps Vista, thank you. How about the Senior Corps? All those who serve in foster grandparent, RSVP, Senior Companion. Wow, thank you for your service. And all of those who maybe served internationally in the Peace Corps alums. Let's recognize all of you. Thank you. You can see in this room, just quick math, I would say that 2/3 of this room is occupied by people who have already served, people who have made contributions. And the rest of you are serving in the capacity of either administering or running or developing or designing opportunities for people to serve, national service programs all over this region. And we thank you for that. At the Corporation for National Service, we started 4 new partnerships. You've heard about the FEMA Corps, which is our partnership with the National Civilian Community Corps and FEMA. It's a way to get folks on the ground when we have these major disasters and emergencies. And this was we were really put to a test last October for Hurricane Sandy. It was the very first deployment of FEMA Corps members. And it was just after they had graduated. And they have served in all kinds of capacities since then. It's been a wonderful experience for FEMA, and I know it's been a wonderful experience for those members who have served. We just started a school turnaround AmeriCorps effort, where we're partnering with the U.S. Department of Education and with Secretary Duncan to pinpoint where we would put resources in school improvement grant schools, either the schools that have chronic issues, chronic challenges of kids who either don't graduate or perform at grade level. And I hope some of you have saw that. We want to extend it. Secretary Duncan wants to significantly increase it by $25 million next year if he can. It will be up to our friends from Congress to make that happen. But the idea here is that we would focus these resources on schools and use service as a strategy to help raise graduation rates and help all kids see success in school. STEM AmeriCorps. It's primarily using VISTA and to extend STEM activities in schools so that math and science are emphasized and using VISTA as a way to do that. President Obama announced that at the National Science Fair at the White House a couple months ago. And then just last week, Vet Success AmeriCorps with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. A small pilot, but it's the very first time that we have a partnership and an interagency agreement with the Department of Veterans Affairs. And this is, if anything, it's expected to grow significantly. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But what propels all of us is the innovation. It's the innovation and the partnership building. It's new ways of thinking. And that's what you are all about. New ways of thinking, new ways of engaging individuals. And we want you to share those ideas. We need to put those ideas into motion. One of the things that you do by doing this is you motivate others to serve. We work in an area, there's a backdrop amongst all of this where people see things maybe through a more pessimistic perspective. Or we hear terms like gridlock, we hear terms like divisiveness. But when you see what you do, you are that bright, shining light. You are the individuals who stand up and say, we can make this work. This is a new way that we can show how government can work. And you may say, oh, Bill, come on. Well, I'm here to share 3 stories with you about individuals who have seen what national service can do. And it's been at a time when people needed us the most. But there's also another side of it, because some folks didn't know we existed. And so whether you wear the A or the S for Senior Corps, whatever organization or program you're with where you have members, we need to let folks know that there are people there from the corporation and from your program that are serving. So people need to know that it is the taxpayer that's helping support AmeriCorps and the Senior Corps in various places where they serve. Oftentimes, people don't know. So I'll tell you this story. Wendy and I went up to see Congressman Bill Flores. Congressman Flores is a congressman from Texas, and the reason we paid him a visit is one of his cities. It was a little town called West Texas. You may have heard of it. It had this big fertilizer plant. The fertilizer plant exploded with tragic consequences. And so our biggest national service investment in West was the RSVP. And so we put an augmentation grant into the West Texas RSVP, and that enabled West to do a volunteer coordination work. There was no volunteer center there before. The RSVP was it. And so the RSVP took on this leadership of coordinating all the volunteers who were coming in from Texas and all over, finding places for them to serve and volunteer. And so when we talked to the congressman about this, and Wendy talked about augmenting the grant, at the end of the conversation, the congressman said this: Bill and Wendy, before this tragedy, I didn't know your agency existed. And there's a message there for all of us, I think. I take that message to heart. We need to do a better job of getting the word out about what we do, not just in the time of disaster, but in times where we're not facing these challenges. So there is a message there for all of us. And then the congressman wanted to take a picture with us, and he thought, this is the best thing that happened. And he heard all kinds of reports about what senior volunteers are doing to get others to volunteer and serve. It was a great experience. And then the story goes on. So moving forward just to last month, or 2 months ago, I should say, Hurricane Sandy, the FEMA Corps, the mission assignment that we had from FEMA is winding down in New Jersey. And another member of Congress sends me this letter, Congressman Runyon from New Jersey. His district in Toms River is almost dead center where Hurricane Sandy hit. And he said, you can't take away these AmeriCorps members and these Senior Corps members. And I said, and so he wanted to have a meeting. And so we talked to his staff about what it would take to keep people there. And FEMA, you know, at the end of the time, the FEMA funds eventually do run out. And so we worked the arrangement with FEMA so that we could stay another month. And Congressman Runyon was saying, I have mayors calling me, seeing people from your organization volunteering. They just can't leave. And so we worked as long as we could, and we still have a presence there in his district, working with people who are trying to rebuild. But then this comes around full circle. About 6 weeks ago at the National Conference of Volunteering and Service, our final speaker was Governor Chris Christie of New Jersey. And he was talking about the challenges of rebuilding the work of volunteers, and then he said something that I think we all will remember. And then he said, it wasn't the work that folks from your organizations did. It wasn't so much the work. It's that anywhere I went in New Jersey, I saw your people, meaning AmeriCorps members and Senior Corps members, serving with a smile. He said, that may sound trivial, but he said, you know, when you've been at this for weeks and weeks and months, you get what's called disaster fatigue. You are just tired of mucking out someone else's house or a friend's house. You are just tired. When is it going to get over? It seems like it's never going to be over. And he said, that's what you bring. It's that spirit that you will always be there, standing there with us. And he said, I will always remember that, and everyone in New Jersey will remember what you all did, standing up for the people of New Jersey at their time of need. So I think those are some things that we need to remember. We need to remember that not only in times of need, but also at other times. There is a disaster probably happening in lots of organizations and neighborhoods and schools, but it's never really rated or gets to that level. But that's where we are, and that's where we serve. So really quickly, I want to go through a couple of quick slides here. I just want to show. That's a great one. All right. What I want to do is just very quickly point some things out. How many folks have seen this issue? Is this new to anyone, or have you seen this? Because this is really, I think, pertinent. How service can save us. It's a piece by Joe Klein, and